Public relations for brands that last. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to this 99th episode of the Nata PR School podcast. Yes, the 99th episode. I can't believe it. So in this episode, we talk about how you can use public relations to last, to be visible, to keep your clients and potential clients aware and informed about you and to keep seducing them. So why use public relations to last?
Bonjour, hello everyone. I'm Nata, host of the Nata PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager and you're about to launch a new product or service, or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At Nata PR, we deal with real clients every day and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening and let's get started.
We often receive requests from clients, from brands, that had sometimes a lot of success in the past before internet existed. That's not so long ago, let's say more than 20 years ago. So these sometimes are amazing brands that I find crazy beautiful and successful that have been around for sometimes 30 years, 40 years, and even longer sometimes. And some of them have never used the power of public relations. So why do they come to us? So they come to us for mainly three reasons. The first reason is there's a new brand who's starting to take over on their shelves, who are pushing them and taking more space in their category of product, let's say in supermarkets or in pharmacy. That's one reason. Second reason, the new brand is really eroding their market share. They're gaining market shares. So this is reason number two why they come to us. Reason number three, there's a new brand that is now, today, more known by the public, sometimes even by people that sell their brands. So more known than them, even if it's a younger, newer brand that's been on the market just a few years. So three main reasons. So the main reasons why they come to us, it's because there's a brand who's really like pushing them on the shelf. They're taking more space. Number two, a new brand is really gaining market shares in their market, so they're losing shares. Number three, the brand, even if it's a younger brand doesn't have their experience, that hasn't been there for 40, 50 years. It's a young brand of just a few years old that's all of a sudden more known to the public than them. So those are the three main reasons why some brands come to us and why all of a sudden they want to use public relations. It's very interesting. And these brands don't have genuine marketing departments. Sometimes you would be surprised like how crazy successful they have without having internally even a marketing specialist, a marketing director. So they decide all of a sudden to create one because they look at the other competitors and they see, well, they all have a marketing plan. They seem to do social media publicity. So we need to create our marketing department. So they decide to hire in-house an expert, very often a marketing director, with, if he's lucky, an assistant. And of course, often this professional will recommend the service of an ad agency and then another agency for the public relations. So you can imagine the investment that this represents, right? So of course, this professional cannot do everything on his own. That's just impossible. So this requires, obviously, a huge budget considering you're starting from zero to having, let's say, 2 new employees and then 2 agencies. It's a lot. And even if these brands say they are committed and they want to invest in marketing. They realize that if they don't do that, the competitors are just taking over. They're gaining shares. But very often, I've seen it more than once. It's so much money and they don't see immediate results. They decide to, after sometimes 2 years, a year, 2 years, they decide to, we're not going to keep this marketing director. We're just going to keep the young assistant for our social media platforms, which is a big mistake, as you can imagine. And they decide to stop working with the ad and the PR agencies. It's just because they come from so far. They have so much to catch up that they're not prepared to invest in their brand as much. But you should. If you are in that situation and you don't know what to do, please find some experts and hang on. Make sure you have a budget there because this is probably that's going to save you. And otherwise you might disappear, really. So we have to see things from their point of view, of course, from your point of view, if you are in that situation and it's really all of a sudden like a huge budget that didn't even exist. And all these expenses that didn't exist for, 20 years, let's say 30 years. I'm sure you're wondering how come they were able to last so long and have success without investing in marketing or PR, right? Well, many of these brands were able to do this because for so long they were virtually alone in their market segment. If you think about fashion, because sometimes it's a market that I know well, but it's the same thing in in a tea, in so many other markets. Anyway, let's just think about fashion. Up until not so long ago, maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, the Zara, H&M of this world weren't in every countries. IKEA wasn't present in every countries in the world, literally, almost. So, of course, you had those fashion brands that were alone almost, and they were serving a certain clientele that did happen in US, Canada, even in Europe, in many European countries. So you had these local brands, let's say, that some of them made a lot of money for the longest time, and they weren't prepared. Why? Because sometimes they never invested a lot in marketing and publicity and even social media. So these are the brands I'm talking about. Sometimes some of them were able to, let's say, keep a certain part of the market, but and they come to us, it happens. I know many brands like that for sure. And so let's say these niches are rare today, right? Where a brand can be alone or almost alone. And I can assure you, if these brands don't invest in marketing, public relations, social media, they will disappear. Many of them have already disappeared, but those who are still, they've done a little bit of everything, should invest way more and on the online business too. So public relations, know this, not just because I'm a public relation expert. I'm saying that because I know it, because I've done it, I've seen it with so many brands. It's an excellent tool to ensure that you will last, that you will still be visible, because this is the job of PR, to keep you visible as much as possible on all the website, online platforms, in social media. They put your products in the hands of influencers. That's what we do. Yeah. So quite simply, including public relations in your marketing plan is vital if you don't want to disappear and die. So that's what public relation does. It really helps you maintain a link, a connection with your clients, your current clients. It will also make you visible to the younger, and those who don't know you. How do you attract new clients? Well, if you're not visible, they never hear about you. You will not attract a new generation. You will just sell to people who already know you. I often talk about big luxury brands. If you listen to some other podcasts, and if you're one of our listeners, first of all, I want to thank you We love to have you on board. I talk about these luxury brands, the ones that we call, the unstoppables. I'm thinking here about Gucci, Burberry, Dior, Saint Laurent. The Chanel, the Balmain, even that really reinvented itself. These giant brands who manage to always find ways to shine. So all these brands have a public relations plan. For sure, they all adapt it year over year to remain visible. Of course, they have new collections. They're always launching something new. So if you want to know more about this tactic, being new, having something new, there's a podcast where I talk about public relations and this tactic of being new. And so they use PR to remain visible. So how do you last? Well, using public relation is really a great way to last, help you last, keep you visible. So voila. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little PR break and that you are inspired to have your own plan, marketing plan. If you don't have one, work on it. And you can always consult PR professionals, marketing professionals, see what they're thinking. And you can hire them or not, but you can also have people working from, let's say, in-house for you guys. So please invest in marketing and public relations if you want to last. Voila. So hopefully you'll be joining me and get on our list if you're not. I always promote and have these free trainings. We all have the other trainings also during the year. I'll be talking about it a little in depth in some future podcasts. Voila. So join us, be on our list to receive our newsletter every week. And I hope you'll be joining me next week. À la semaine prochaine.
Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the Nata PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.